本集节目由永丰金控冠名赞助，翻转金融，共创美好生活，以新闻开启国际视野。永丰金控与您一同掌握全球脉动。大家好，欢迎收听联合开炮，我是郭崇伦。最近南北韩的情况，紧张的情形又升高了。而且升高的时候正好是中国大陆在台湾4周实施这个2024联合利剑 B 的演习的时候，那究竟韩国的情况跟台湾的情况有没有相关联性？我们特别邀请了韩硕熙教授到我们节目来，跟他做了访谈。韩硕熙是来台湾参加国策研究院举行的这个国际研讨会，事实上这是他第9次来台湾。他刚开始的时候跟中国大陆这边的关系是比较近的，他曾经在中国大陆教过书，也曾经担任过韩国的上海总领事，但最近这5年都没有去大陆，反而是频繁来台湾。我也会请他谈一下他对这个方面的心境的转变，那尤其是他代表韩国的学界对于现在美国大选的关注，他最近一直在跑美国，跟双方都有很密切的联系，这是值得我们效法的。下面是我跟他做的访谈。
Yesterday, there's a tension going on in the Korean Peninsula, meaning that the North Korean High Command had asked for there's about 8 battalions of artillery to be combat ready. And why all of a sudden the tension now is mounting up? We understand this had a lot to do with North Koreans sending the trash balloon, and in countermeasure, it is said that North Korea accused the South Korean sending a drone over there to give out propaganda materials. And can you explain how the tension is coming from?
I think basically, first of all, I have to tell that North Korean affairs is a black box. Nobody knows. So I'm telling you, I'm just explaining about this kind of cases based on my assumption. One thing is why at this moment? I think we have to take a look at the situation of the United States.
Right.
U.S. is on the verge of election. So I think that's my understanding. I think North Korea, they want to show to the new president of the United States. Then they want to send a message to them. Then they are quite dangerous entity. So if any new president has to take a look at and has to put some importance on North Korea, that will be one message to the United States. Second thing is sending message to Yoon Suk-yeol government. Yoon Suk-yeol government is in contrast to Moon Jae-in government. Yoon Suk-yeol government, they don't have any interest in North Korea. So North Korea, they want to recapture the interest of Yoon Suk-yeol government to them. So that is another thing. And actually, if we review 2 years of inter-Korean relationship, North Korea wants to capture the interest of Yoon Suk-yeol government. Many things they did, but Yoon Suk-yeol government did not put any of interest on to North Korea. So North Korea, they tried to diversify a lot of actions to South Korea to get the interest. And finally, Kim Jong-un, he believes that that is my understanding. I think Kim Jong-un, he thinks that only one thing he can put some pressure upon the South Korea would be nuclear. And his provocation. But maybe if he flies, maybe if he tests the nuclear test once again, then that will be the direct confrontation toward the United States. So they are scared of that one. So it's better for them to threat to South Korea by those kind of the verbal threat to South Korea. So we are a different country. So we have right to invade you properly. So far, South Korea, North Korean people are same people. Then if North Korea invades South Korea, that will be against their own idea that, oh, you fighting against the same people. But if they say that we are two different countries, then they have some kind of legal kind of justice to fight against South Korea. That's not binding to the same people ideology.
Is it true that they have changed their constitutions and
They
then
tried to change the constitution.
and they not consider the North and South as the same people anymore?
So Kim Jong-un wants to change the constitution, but it's on the process.
Okay.
But so far, some Korean people say that he wants to change the constitution, but he couldn't. So he has some kind of problem. So some people say that. But I don't know much about that one. So and anyway, he wants to change the constitution right now.
There's also a saying that all this ratchet up of the North Korea have something to do with they are hoping President Trump can come back and to be in the White House and then restart the negotiation with them again. Continue the process that had been interrupted during the previous administration. Do you buy that argument?
I had the contact with the Trump administration people many times in this year. And then almost all the time they said that just in case if Trump becomes the president, he has a high possibility to meet with Kim Jong.
Oh, okay. To continue what he had.
To continue, I think he, even though he meets with Kim Jong Un, his approach and his goal would be different.
Okay.
So his goal is maybe Trump. He may continue to propose the no nuclear policies.
Oh, okay.
So he made pressure upon North Korea to give up the nuclear, but it's impossible mission.
Instead of freezing the nuclear program, he's now asking for total ablation.
We try to put pressure upon the Trump administration. No, you have to keep going on the no nuclear, but it depends on the situation.
There's another thing you just mentioned about another nuclear test, the 7th nuclear test. Is it possible for them to do it anytime soon, before or after the presidential elections of U.S.? You don't think so?
If they do any of nuclear tests, that's going to be very much disruption of the relationship between North Korea and the United States.
Okay.
So they would not do that. But there's too much tension. They want to increase too much tension. But I think North Korean people, they understand that they need to increase some tensions against the United States. But if they increase too much tension, then that's gonna disrupt the relationship. So they would not make it.
Okay. I will bring back to the North Korean relations with Russia these days, because now the global attention is on the Ukraine war, and somehow Russia had been building up military alliance with North Korea. How much do you think that the North Korean military technology can be improved by this kind of alliance, and how far would this alliance go?
Theoretically, it's possible for North Korea to improve its own technology, military technology, but how much Russia, they just consider the United States, because they are, once they deliver or they transfer the technology to North Korea, that's against international, that's against the UN law of sanction.
Right.
So U.S. will put pressure upon that one. So the Russia whatever they want to decide, they have to be very concealed secretly to North Korea. Second thing is once Russia transfer military technology to North Korea, what Russia can get from North Korea.
Okay.
So far, the omniscience, that's pretty showy. Omniscience, maybe at least 30%, 40% of North Korean omniscience are too old. So they could not efficiently use that omniscience.
Right.
So that's so far. So recently, one of the suspicions that we have would be North Korea may provide some personnel
Okay.
to Russia.
I also saw the report on this. Right.
Right.
To do what?
Two personnel. One is construction personnel.
Okay.
The other one is a fighting personnel.
Okay. Okay.
But North Korea, they want to do this because they can get the money.
Right. Right. Foreign currency.
Yeah. Once they provide, North Korea provide the construction personnel, then I heard that the amount, the price, maybe $500 per day. But if they provide some fighting personnel or
Okay.
that kind of combat personnel, that's going to be $1,500 per day. So that's a lot of money from North Korean perspective. They really want to provide their personnel to Russia, and Russian people, they're running out of their personnel or fighters. So they want to accept North Korean personnel. So at the current snapshot situation, the both sides, they are meeting with their own interest.
Okay.
So they can cooperate. But our future's prospect would be once the Ukraine war is over, whether Russia and North Korean relationship would be continue, that is up in the air.
Right. Another important player will be China. I mean, you are in the security community. How much is there still people believe that China can be helpful in solving the Korean Peninsula issues by pressuring the North Korea and then having the North Korea to adopt a more peaceful means of solutions?
So far, for 30 years, there was a kind of principle of Korean people's mind. But as time goes by, especially after the inauguration of Yoon Suk-yeol government, after it, more specifically after the DOD controversies, Korean people's perception toward China has been changed a lot. Now, the current government doesn't have any interest in North Korea. And also, China-North Korean relationship is pretty aloof right now. So, a number of Korean people, majority of Korean people, they believe that for unification, China is not maybe important, it's important, but not as important as the United States. That's what we are thinking. And then our perception of the importance of China on unification is declining seriously. And a growing number of Korean people, they are thinking China is maybe to some part still cooperator, but at the same time, it's a kind of a threat. Threat perception is increasing too. Maybe yesterday, the EAI, East Asian Institute, they produced the survey data. It says a lot of things about Korean people's perception toward China too, and toward Taiwan too. It's interesting. And if you want, if you send me your email address, then I'm going to send it to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But so far, this North Korea, Russia alliance, China seemed to be hesitate to join in as a three countries alliance. I mean, it seems that China seemed to be keeping a distance from this kind of Russia-North Korean alliance. Why is it so?
First of all, China, they don't want to disrupt the relationship with the United States.
Okay.
But U.S.-Russia relationship is pretty sour. U.S. North Korea relations is pretty sour. If China collaborate with these countries, then that might be a main cause of the United States kind of problem.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to do that.
Mm.
Second thing is China still believe that North Korea is their own, not territory, but their own brother country.
Mm.
So they are controller. But all of a sudden, Russia, they just give hand and then they want to cooperate each other.
Right.
So from Chinese perspective, that's not the proper way.
But throughout the past 60 years or 70 years history, North Korea had always tried to play one against the other, Russia and China. On the one hand, they're close to China. On the other hand, they are close with Russia, right?
It's 1960s, 70s under Kim Il-sung.
Right.
But after that one, Russia was falling down.
Right.
Russia could not compete with China. So China dominated the North Korea. But now Russia is bounced back and then they want to touch upon North Korea. So from Chinese perspective, it's not that comfortable situation. But North Korean perception is very important. North Korea, when they connected with Russia, and Russian people, they just provide some money to North Korea. North Korean people, they realize that for a long time, how much Chinese people, they just use North Korea with a little money. So they just realize that, oh, this is not right. So we better communicate with Russia instead of China. So Chinese people, they were perplexed. We just so far for several decades, we just helped you. But now you betrayed us. But from North Korean perspective, for 67 years, you deceived me. And then you just that's not right. So they tried to make a communication with Russia, but temporarily means up until the end of the Ukraine war, North Korea-Russia relationship will continue.
Okay.
And very close. But once it's disrupted or it's over, then North Korea may go back to China. Or may renegotiate with China. So that might be possible. And second thing is U.S. China relationship. I think whenever I visit United States, I realize that American people in their mind, deep inside their mind, they think that U.S. China competition is over. U.S. is completely winning. It's a matter of time.
Oh, okay.
So from U.S. perspective, as time goes by, if we just putting pressure upon Chinese economy, then China has to give up. That's what they are thinking of. They do not say anything, but I just realized, I just found out some kind of symptom there.
By they are having technology control, they are using different kind of tariff. They think that they will win over China economy.
Yeah. And the most important thing is technology control. And China never gonna have their original semiconductor. If they do not have an original semiconductor, then their future is none. No future. So you ask them, whenever I go to the United States, I just ask one question. What is your end goal? What is your goal onto China? I think majority of the people, they are a little perplexed to answer this question. And they're just many people say that, oh, our goal is not regime change. But actually, from my understanding, they really pursue regime change. But they do not want to say that. And rather, they say that we want to make China is deceiving many things, so we want to make a balance with the
fair play of game, something like that.
They just lopsided the ground and they want to make it flat. But I think that is a kind of a pretext. But inside their mind is they want to make a regime change and they want to their future long-term goal is to make China a democratized. I think that is the no matter who's going to be the president, that goal would not be changed.
I think when Donald Trump was president, it's most obvious when they keep mentioning they want to separate the Chinese people with the Chinese communist regime, right?
But you have to keep that in mind that just in case if Trump becomes the president, you have to understand what Trump people said about China and Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember in 2017, 18, around that time, when Trump was there, one of the Trump people said that no, China has to follow the path of the Taiwan.
Okay.
Taiwan is a democratic country, and China has to follow democratization. I think I just remember some of the mention like this. So I think I assume that China's end game, end goal would be democratization of China. So as far as this is the set, I think U.S. will continue to put pressure upon China, and Chinese people they barely realize this is the situation. Actually, when Trump became the president, they were shocked. In 2018, Trump initiated trade war with China. At the time, Chinese people they realized they understand. Oh, this is kind of short-term pressure because Trump is crazy guy, so he tried to put pressure upon China. But in 2024, they understand that this is a long-term goal.
Right.
The U.S. never going to change.
Right.
They realized that, so they just gave up. We're not going to go back to previous U.S. China relationship. So they want to fight against China. But yesterday I tried to make a comment that this anachronistic, the Xi Jinping's anachronistic perception. Xi Jinping still believes that Dongxiang Xijiang. So that's not true. That's not. China is declining. So how can they fight back against the United States? I think for a while, Xi Jinping wants to buy time, and then he wants to maintain his power. But no more than that. Maybe 10 years later, what's going on? China is keep declining. Then the Xi Jinping cannot maintain his power. The U.S. people they are carefully calculating that part. And they are preparing for the finally the future possible collapse of China. I think that Taiwan has to prepare for that. No, this is very sure. You have to take a look at AIT, American Institute in Taiwan in Neihu. 15 acres, huge.
They're very big.
And a huge building. Do you know how many people working there?
500.
About 1,000.
1,000.
Little less than 1,000. What they are doing right now? I think a major U.S. policy toward China would be made in AIT. I think AIT is there, but AIT would not be open to other people. I think they are doing that one. So
let me move to the topic of the crisis across the Taiwan Strait, because we are witnessing now the crisis, the tension in the Korean Peninsula happening almost at the same time when there's a military exercise happening between Taiwan from China. Why is there's a coincidence?
I don't find any reason, but that is true that they just happen at the same time. So it's true that many of Taiwanese journalists they try to find out any coincidence between two events, but I think it's not easy to find out any coincidence because currently China-North Korean relationship is too bad.
Right. For them to have a coordination.
Right. It's not easy for them to make a coordination. So I think the North Korean event is North Korean decision, and Taiwan event is China's decision. So it's not much coordination, but it is true that Taiwan event and Korean event should be linked together. Maybe currently, temporarily, China-North Korean relationship is pretty sour, but something later, then their relationship will bounce back. Then, if they are closely related, just in case Xi Jinping wants to invade Taiwan, before that, when he invaded Taiwan, he doesn't want to see any of the U.S. military in Korea intervene into Taiwan Strait. So before that, he wants to make a negotiation with the Kim Jong-un. Then Kim Jong-un has to make some agitation in South Korea, then not to move the American military from Korea. But one thing I'm curious is whether Xi Jinping will talking to Kim Jong-un about this. The two leaders' relationship is pretty sour. So that is a little bit negative. So I think in Korea side, we are seriously considering the linkage between Taiwan issue and Korean issue. So we want to, maybe up until last year we did not have any interest in Taiwan issue, but since last year we began to thinking about or considering Taiwan situation very carefully.
Could you elaborate more on that? Because those Korean issue and Taiwan issue happen at the same time. It's testing not only the U.S. Defense capability, but also the joint cooperation between U.S., Japan, and Korea at the same time.
So that is the beginning right now, because we just established the U.S.-Korea, Japan trilateral relationship last year. And then we want to elaborate or we want to develop that into the military side. So now currently Korea wants to join the U.S., Korea, Japan, the military drill together. And especially Korea's Navy is very much interested in to secure the sea lanes. Korea's export-import sea lanes. They want to secure the security of that one. So I think Korea's Navy is very much interested in that one too.
But recently there's a RAMP report with the title "Fighting Abroad from an Allies Land." In the report, it said that maybe Korean support could be limited in case there's a war against from China attacking Taiwan, compared with the support from Japan. Why are they saying that?
No, I in 2024 whole year, I just had the conference in the United States, Japan, and anywhere. That question is always coming up. My idea, my comment is just like Abe. Taiwan contingency is Korea's contingency. Why? Because 33.7% of Korea's sea lane crossed the Taiwan Strait. If anything happened in Taiwan Strait, within 5 days, Korea's economy got a problem. So that's why Taiwan contingency is Korea's contingency. And I think so far, Korean people, my argument is, especially American people, they ask a question. They put pressure upon us. Just in case if Taiwan contingency happened, what you gonna do? My answer is, before you ask me, you have to commit yourself. Whether U.S. military will intervene into Taiwan Strait contingency in person. Because if we record 2 years before, we seldom talking about Taiwan contingency issues. But all of a sudden, we are talking about Taiwan contingency issues. Why? Because after the Ukraine war happened, 3 months later, we are talking about Taiwan contingency issues. Why? Because U.S. never intervened into Ukraine war. Xi Jinping, he just looked at Ukraine war. And he had high hope. Just in case if I attack Taiwan and U.S. doesn't involve in that, I have a high possibility to win. So the most important thing is U.S. military will intervene into Taiwan contingency. That's a very important thing. Second thing, I'd like to ask Taiwan people whether Taiwan people will fight against China just like in Ukraine. That's a very important thing. Two things are answered, and then you have to ask me whether we're going to intervene or not. That's natural. And at the same time, I'd like to ask Japanese. You're talking, we will definitely in. Then when I have a conference with or seminar with the Japanese people, they have a lot of conditions.
Okay.
They said immediately we will intervene, and then if they just really review the principles, and they have a lot of principles, so it's not easy for them to immediately intervene into Taiwan Strait. So I think we have to sit down and we have to talk about Taiwan contingency. Maybe I try to insist to Korean government, the Korean military people, then we have to talking. We have to answer the question to the people, to the world, that if anything happen in Taiwan Strait, then we have to do something. So we have to declare. I think it's high time for us to do this. This is what I want to talking to the people right now. So soon, maybe this is not the right time. If anything happen, and if the Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol, he has faced any situation, he has to declare, he will declare. And I think potential time might be U.S., Japan, Korea tripartite summit meeting. Soon it will happen in the United States.
In December, I would say, right?
Yes. At the time is one possibility. That President Yoon Suk, he might say something about Taiwan Strait.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Maybe. I'm not sure, but maybe. So this is the situation.
The U.S. presidential election will be voted on 3 weeks from now. So, what's your assessment? Will they have any impact on the U.S.-Korea security alliance, or is it have something to do with how they are going to manage the China relations if it's different president?
I'm a realist. Realist perspective. So Harris and Trump. If Harris becomes the president, we don't have to prepare many things.
Right. It's the policy continuation.
Policy continuation. We don't have to worry about it. Just in case Trump becomes the president, we have to prepare a lot. So far for 1 year, from the beginning of 2024 up until right now, I just visited the United States for 4 or 5 times. In the meantime, I consistently meeting with the Trump people. So just in case Trump becomes the president, what we have to do.
Right.
And who's going to be the key people. So I try to contact with them. Not only me, but also Japanese people, Taiwan people, Hungarian people. A lot of people, they getting together. The price of the Washington, D.C., the hotel price never go down.
It's true.
So I just contact with them. One positive comment, positive answer would be, U.S. also wants to see another Abe. Abe was the most successful leader toward the Trump in first period. Second period, who's going to be the another Abe? I think the Japanese Prime Minister would never going to go there. And no other people, only Yoon Suk-yeol might be another Abe. And many people ask us though, is President Yoon Suk-yeol playing golf? So he plays golf, but not good. So we are preparing for some golf meeting. And then their suggestion is if President Trump becomes a president, and President Yoon Suk-yeol has to visit United States as soon as possible. Before his inauguration January 20th. So November to January 20th, I think he has to visit United States right after the New Year's or before Christmas. So he has to prepare for that one. So I'm just we are considering that.
I find that Korean are doing a long-term planning better than Taiwanese.
Yeah, we seriously we have to plan for that. And also when President Yoon Suk-yeol he goes to United States for a meeting with the Trump, then Trump side may ask us to do something against China. So that kind of a list would be, one is we have to declare something about Taiwan, and we have to declare something against China, and also we have to implement some actions against China in terms of semiconductor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Those kind of things would be a long list there. So those kind of things we are considering right now. And also we are concerning about the security budget. No, the joint security budget, SMC. There is last time when I visited here at the time from the United States, one lady, she is close to Trump. She had the speech here and she said,
right, the former UN ambassador.
yeah. She said that 5% of GDP. we are paying the 2.some% of GDP of paying.
Taiwan is also having like 2.6, something like
2.6. Well, we are less than 2.6, 2.4 or 2.3. But if they just pressure us then to rise up to 5%, that's gonna be tragedy.
Right,
Too much. So we have to get together and have to discuss about how we can defend ourselves. So after the possibility of Trump would be increased, then the cooperation between Korea, Japan, and Taiwan would be very intensified right now. So I think that's natural. So we have to show that to the United States and China. Yeah.
One final question is that you have been trained as a China specialist. I heard you said that on the podium in the last conference. But so far, you haven't visited China for the past 5 years, while you are visiting Taiwan this year for almost 9 times already. What make you hesitate to go back to China? You are teaching in China. You have a lot of friends in China. What kind of feeling you have now toward China?
First thing is they set up the anti-spy law.
Right.
That's absurd. And they just set up the anti-spy law and they have a long list of questions for getting visa. Why have to do this? That's their problem. But they never going to change their own policy. They know that this is wrong policy, but they never going to change this policy. And if I go to China, that's not a good thing. Second thing is I cannot guarantee my security. I had a chance to serve in Shanghai as a consul general. At that time, I had the experience to see several Korean people they caught by law and that they were in jail. So I had to visit them.
Is it because of business they get into lawsuit or something like that?
And they just violate the law of China.
Okay.
So they were in jail. But I was only one person who can help them. So I visited the jail, and then I realized that I was the last person to help them, but I have no power. Just in case if I go to China, I was put in the custody. Nobody can help me. I know that. So it's perfectly better for me not to go to China. It would be the safest way. If I put myself into Chinese shoes, then South Korea coming to China is very palatable entity. If they put me into custody, they want to have a very good kind of advantage, right? Another thing is Taiwan people, sometimes Taiwan professors, they will put custody in China.
Right.
Many Japanese people, they will put custody in China.
Right.
No Korean people custody in China.
Oh.
Why? Because Korea is too much dependent upon Chinese economy. So from Chinese people, they don't have to detain any Korean people. They don't have to. If they just threat Korea will listen to us. But key problem is Korea's dependency on Chinese economy is declining. And Korea's dependency on China regarding North Korea declining. So China is beginning to thinking about detaining Korean people right now. So this is a very, very dangerous period. So that's why I don't want to go there. I publicly said to Chinese people, I cannot go to China. Just in case your anti-spy law, if I put thing there, then what are you gonna do? I don't have to break your law, but no, it depends on your understanding, your translation. That you just put me in custody. What can I do? So I don't want to go. I just openly said that. Chinese people initially they tried to seduce me. No. You don't have to worry about it. If we invite you, then nobody can touch upon you. I still don't want to go. I still don't want to go for several years. When Chinese people they know the situation, so in their perception, South Korea comes to China, then the relations between Korea and China will be better. So I cannot go. I don't want to go. So
but the Chinese they are having a very stupid policy. They are drive away all the friends they have, right?
Right. That's why I try to maybe my one person had no power, but I try to put pressure upon them. So you have to change your policy. And then we can go. I said to them, openly said to them, I really wanted to go to China, but I can't go to China because of your law. Your law, I don't have any intention to break your law, but your law is absurd. Not only me, but also a lot of people, they don't want to go to China. Not only Korean people, American people, Taiwan people, Japan, they don't want to go to China. So that's your problem. So you have to fix your problem. And then I can go. So this is clear. So I just openly said to them, so they now is their side decision.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hope to see you next time, the 10th time in Taiwan.
I hope maybe next time nobody invite me, then I'm gonna come here by myself.
for tourists, no pressure.
Okay.
Thank you.
上网搜寻 VIP.UDN.com 到联合报数位版看更多精彩的报道。